Okay, today we're going to be looking at PR83. Are we going to focus? Come on, camera. Come on. There you go. This tube of paint is probably older than many of the viewers. PR83 Alizarin Crimson is a slightly fresher tube. Is one of the artist's favourite colours, okay, and probably because it's got one of the coolest names of any paints ever invented. If I ever got bestowed upon me superpowers by some radioactive insect from my lab somewhere, I would be tempted to call myself Alizarin Crimson Man, because it's just such a cool name. However, what's not cool about Alizarin Crimson is that it in fact fades. It's one of the few colours, the only one I can think of actually, that's in popular use today that fades. According to 50% nearly of the artists I asked in an online survey about whether they knew it faded or not, they said no. 50% of people said no, I didn't know it faded. Oh my goodness. Which is why I'm doing this video, amongst other things, to try to encourage you to buy yourself a permanent version, or better still, use PR122, which is quinacridone magenta, or PV19, which both hit the same spectrum spot, so to speak. The area that Alizarin Crimson hits on the spectrum is around here, okay, and that is in fact magenta. That's been painted with magenta. So the difference between this one is that magenta has only one bias. Okay, it's red with a blue bias. You know where you are with magenta. It's a very reasonable colour in that respect. Okay, Alizarin Crimson is one of the oddest colours that I know of in that respect, because Alizarin Crimson is a red with a blue bias. Okay, so it's a cool red, but there's also some yellow in there, and red and yellow make a kind of orange, yeah? Add blue and you're heading towards brown. Interestingly, when Alizarin Crimson fades, and it ultimately will do unless you keep it in a drawer or a special room for your paintings in the dark somewhere, it goes brown. It fades, disappears, or goes brown. And I think this is because the red disappears and you get more of the brown being reflected, blue being reflected, and that means that you're going to see a more of a browny colour. So red's vanishing. Now, in fairness, red is, if any of the colours in your painting are going to fade, it's going to be red. Red is notoriously difficult to be light fast, but that is no excuse, manufacturers, and I'm talking to you right now. There's no excuse for you to be writing it that Alizarin Crimson has good light fastness when it plainly does not. Big thumbs up to Gambling. Gambling is the only manufacturer that I can think of that actually has come clean and said that it's a fugitive colour. Fugitive means it flees. I think that in fact is a posh way of trying also to obfuscate the fact that it fades, because fade would be a better word to put on the side of the tube of paint. It has nothing to do with Harrison Ford trying to clear his name as Richard Kimball in the movie The Fugitive. Great movie if you haven't seen that. But it's got everything to do with it fading. It's a very well-known fading colour. Fade, it fades off your pictures. So please stop using it. Instead, either learn to use magenta and PV19, because they give you access to a greater range of colours in your mixes. And let's face it, most of us use these colours in mixes. Or if you don't want to use it in a mix, go and buy yourself a permanent version from one of the many manufacturers that make permanent Alizarin Crimson. There you go, that's the end of my public service announcement on the subject of Alizarin Crimson. The government recommends that you don't use Alizarin Crimson because it fades. Well, they don't, but I do. Please don't use it. There you go. Oh, by the way, if you want to try and mix it yourself, I found that PV19 plus a warm yellow and PP29, which is ultramarine blue, was the best route to that if you want to mix it. But there you go. I personally haven't touched it since I went over to using magenta, so as a basis for all my colours. There you go. Hope that was helpful. See ya.